Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a few fights.
Has he won any?
I believe so.
Oh, really? Which one?
They say he beat up
his baby mama, something like that?
Nah, he beat up dude at the restaurant.
Who, the cook?
Let me see.
I don't even think he's from Harlem, tell you the truth.
You don't think he's from Harlem?
Nope. I think because they never talk about him being in Harlem. I think he's from North Bronx or some
He claims a blood gang out there.
Britney Spears claims a blood.
He need to go on a diet. He need to get his life together. He need to go to the doctor and get a physical. He looked terrible. Bad body, back ass. He look big around the neck. Waist look crazy. I'm body shaming this. You heard? He need to go get his shit together, get on the treadmill, do some push-ups, do something.
New York talking again. Jim Jones just caught one of the biggest L's in recent memory after Jadakiss and Styles P straight up cooked him live on air. What was supposed to be a friendly talk about New York hip-hop and legacy turned into a straight humiliation session, with two Yonkers legends tag teaming Jim like it was a lyrical intervention. The crazy part? Jim thought he was stepping into a conversation about unity, but instead he walked right into a verbal ambush. It all started when Jim Jones went live on a popular hip-hop platform to discuss the state of New York rap. You already know Jim been trying to hold on to that Harlem boss image, calling himself the new face of the city, taking shots at old heads, and talking like he built the blueprint. But if you remember, this ain't the first time he's ruffled feathers. He's been beefing with people like Mace, Cameron, and even Pusha T, always trying to prove he's still that guy. So when word got around that Jadakiss and Styles P were gonna join the live stream, fans knew it was about to get spicy.
I didn't start it. They asked me how I felt about what was said about me on another platform from some other people. You know, that sounds like I'm not a troublemaker.
We'll be out of business man after August 3rd, so I'm practicing the weatherman. As you can see, I'm in Harlem, New York. What up, Harlem? I love y'all, but I should know that fast. Anyway, I just want to say, after August 3rd, I'm going to be the new weatherman. If I ain't going to be it, Kiss is going to fill in, or we're going to have to do this shit together. But August 3rd, after August 3rd, no more weatherman from Capo. It's over. All you gotta do is pull up here. You want to join me? Pull up and join me. You know what I'm saying? Pull right up here, you can join me. I'm on live.
Yeah, talk that shit.
Yeah. We're here, baby. Pull up.
What's up?
211, never here.
What's up, y'all?
You know what I mean? We're here, baby. J1 pulling up. He went home. After the gym, he want to go get flea. All you gotta do is pull up, 211 Napton, get checked out, and everything else will fall in line after that. I'm out here with the legends, man. You know what I mean?
My man,
you see it, man. OG Prince, man, one of the most solid individuals ever touched the universe. Right. And we keep it solid, we keep it real, original over here, 100%. You see who pulls up? The real ones. And we keeping it solid. That's all we do over here. No extra bullshit. If you ain't coming on that type of time, stay where you at. Get your prostate checked, get you a juice.
As soon as Jadakiss hopped in, the energy shifted. That man's presence alone commands respect. Cool, calm, and deadly with his words. He don't even gotta yell. He started off light, saying, "We just here to talk real New York business." But then he hit Jim with the first jab. "You can't claim the throne if your catalog don't speak for the city." That line stung because it was subtle but sharp, and everyone watching knew what he meant. He was talking about that legendary Versus battle between the LOX and Dipset, where Jadakiss single-handedly embarrassed Jim, Cameron, and Jules Santana in front of millions. You could tell Jim was trying to laugh it off, but Styles P jumped in and turned the heat up. He said, "We love you, but you know damn well Harlem lost that night. We gave y'all a clinic. Breath control, delivery, energy, everything." The chat went wild. People started dropping laughing emojis and comments like, "Not the locks roasting Dipset again." Jim tried to clap back, talking about Dipset's style and influence, saying, "Y'all was rapping, but we had the culture. We brought fashion, swag, and money talk." But that's when Jadakiss hit him with the knockout. He leaned back, smiled, and said, "You can't wear designer to a war and think it's armor." Boom! The internet exploded. That one line instantly trended across social media. Everyone started posting memes of Dipset getting roasted again, saying Jadakiss just ethered Jim without even trying. And you could see it on Jim's face, that mix of pride and frustration. He tried to keep the convo going. but the tone had already changed. It wasn't a debate anymore. It was a schooling. To make it worse, Styles P wasn't done. He added, "It ain't just about who got fly. It's about who stood on business for New York, who kept the streets alive when the industry went commercial." Then he looked straight into the camera and said, "We never needed to chase no trend. We are the trend." That moment hit deep because it reminded everyone that the Lox's legacy wasn't built on flash. It was built on bars, consistency, and authenticity. Meanwhile, Jim's brand always leaned on image, from the jewelry to the bravado. The comment section started flooding with people saying Jim out here fighting for his life again, and the LOX giving him that big brother talk he never asked for. What started as just a live stream turned into one of the most viral New York moments of the year, with Jim Jones once again taking a loss at the hands of Jadakiss and Styles P.
Relationship with social media right now.
I expect that whether you do something good or whether you do something bad, they're gonna talk negative about you. They're gonna try to downplay your accomplishment no matter who you are, things like that. But it's cool. I know that I'm great at a lot of things that people would love to be great at. I accepted that a long time ago in life. You know, that's not gonna stop my greatness. I'm gonna continue to excel in who I am. I'm comfortable with that. You dig? Like, I've never seen somebody hate and do the same thing across that line of discretion. So it's like, yo,
In that moment though, that you're saying this thing with Nas, do you know this is gonna be a clip?
100%.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, oh yeah, you just bugged out. You went way beyond the line of discretion with this one. This one is
You're just like a badass kid acting up.
I know how to go viral. This is easy. We're in an easy society. If you like me, don't like me, know who I was, and now find out who I was, one click away from making me some money. You know what I mean? Like, this is entertainment.
Yeah.
Stop being so serious. Loosen up a little bit.
After that viral moment, the internet went crazy. Every blog, podcast, and hip-hop outlet was talking about how Jim Jones got Sun Live by Jadakiss and Styles P. Again. People were saying it felt like the Versus Battle 2.0, just without the stage lights. The memes were endless. Clips of Jadakiss smirking, Styles laughing, and Jim looking uncomfortable hit every social platform within hours. Even fans who used to ride for Dipset started admitting that Jim walked into that one unprepared. But the thing is, this wasn't just about jokes. It was about legacy. The LOX got a different kind of respect. They never needed to chase clout or trends to prove their place. Their catalog speaks for itself. Real bars, real records, and decades of consistency. That's why when Jadakiss talks, people listen. And that's exactly what he reminded Jim on that live stream. He said, "You can talk about who got money, but the real flex is still being respected after 25 years. That line hit hard because everyone knows the LOX earned their spot through work, not talk.
Jones Styles P, let's talk about it. First, it started out as how much body of work you got, how many dope-ass singles you got, right? Then it grew. It progressed into having levels to this shit. It's sort of like boxing. You think you're gonna mash somebody the f out until them lights come on, it's a different story. Styles P said, I'm a barsmith. It's levels to this shit. Meaning, look, I can go on my bag with singles, but I can also go on my bags with body and shit, as far as freestyles. Can Jim Jones do that? Maybe he can. Have people seen Jim Jones do that? No, they haven't. Because like I said, once you get under them bright lights, like a boxer, it's a different story.
Jim, on the other hand, started trying to defend himself. He said, "Let's not act like I ain't put Harlem on the map again. Dipset had the streets, the pink minks, the block anthems, the energy." But Styles P just laughed and said, "You had the outfits, we had the outcome." The crowd went wild. The whole chat turned into people dropping laughing emojis and saying, "He walked into that one." It was one of those moments where even Jim knew he couldn't win. Not because he ain't accomplished, but because he was up against two dudes who represented everything authentic about New York rap. Then the conversation took a serious turn. Jadakiss said, "This ain't even about clowning. It's about who really held the torch for the city when the lights went dim." He started talking about how the LOX never switched up, how they stayed independent, kept their morals, and still made money without selling out. Styles added, "We ain't never had to fake nothing. We ain't never had to pretend to be bosses. We just moved like them." Jim stayed quiet for a second. That silence said more than any response could. He's been in the game long enough to know when the crowd's not on your side. But instead of bowing out, he tried to flip it. He said, I respect y'all, but Harlem runs different. We move with hustle, not history. And that's when Jadakiss hit him again, saying, hustle without history don't last long, my guy. Another dagger. You could see Jim's smirk fade into frustration. The room wasn't laughing with him anymore. They were laughing at him. When the stream ended, it was clear who won the night. The LOX walked away looking like kings, and Jim looked like the loud kid who finally got checked by the OGs. But even though he took that L, you gotta give him credit, he stayed in the ring.
I'm extremely happy of what I've accomplished, who I've become, what I've overcame, what I have the ability to do. And naturally, if you're going to talk about me, I'm always talk my shit. You know, I know how to.
A few days after the live stream, Jim tried to play it cool. He went on Instagram, posting a video of himself in the studio saying, "Ain't no hard feelings, we all legends." But fans weren't buying it. The comments were brutal. People saying, bro, they turned you into a meme again, and you should have learned after Verzuz. And that's the crazy part. Jim Jones been trying to rewrite the narrative ever since that Verzuz battle against the LOX. But every time he opens his mouth about New York greatness, Jadakiss or Styles somehow ends up reminding him where he really stands. Behind the scenes, industry insiders say this whole thing runs deeper than jokes. It's about credibility. See, the LOX's reputation comes from being street certified and business smart. They never needed gimmicks. Meanwhile, Jim and Dipset were known for flash. They had the culture, the fashion, the swag, but not the same lyrical respect. And that's what keeps haunting Jim. Every time he tries to remind people that Dipset was just as powerful, someone brings up that infamous Verzuz night where the LOX destroyed them bar for bar. What's funny is, Styles P later went on another podcast and said, "It's all love, but we can't let nobody rewrite New York history." And that's what this whole thing is really about. Legacy protection. Jadakiss and Styles P are like the gatekeepers of real New York hip-hop. They ain't letting nobody come around acting like they the kings unless they earned it. And Jim, with his loud personality and constant bragging, keeps testing that boundary.
My interviews, I'm very real with myself. You know what I mean? Like, I know the whole playing field. Like, people get this picture painted like I'm from the real bottom of nothing. I've been traveling on the train since I've been 8 and 9. I've been telling people this for years. Like, I'm a real anomaly. Like, I'm different in New York City. I was a man long before I was supposed to be a man.
Jim is more relevant than Nas now. Get the fuck out of here with that, man. This shit right here got y'all fucked up. Go listen to Nas, or even go listen to Jim. Music is to be listened to, not to be talked about. This is the most disrespectful, one of the most disrespectful that's happened to our culture is how much attention this Jim Jones and Nas shit get. It's one of the most disrespectful that's happened to our culture. But I'm sure y'all find some other stupid shit to pay attention to. To fuck our legacy, to fuck our culture, while the powers that be, the mother that's holding the strings, are staying laughing at us. Disrespecting us while they on their yachts and mega mansions. They give us the crumbs, and what happens? We're gonna flex on each other. Y'all just really let this motherfucking device take over y'all souls, y'all spirits, y'all's minds. This thing controls everything y'all think, y'all say, and y'all do. Now, do you think God wanted it like that? And y'all can't even help it. Y'all run to this and you stay on it all fucking day and entertain both. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourself for even entertaining this nonsense.
But it ain't just about ego. It's about generational tension too. Jim represents the era of clout, flash, and hustle. The LOX represent the era of bars, authenticity, and code. When those two worlds collide, it always gets ugly. You can tell Jim's trying to prove he's more than just a Dipset meme, but every time he tries to flex, the OGs remind him that respect ain't bought, it's built. Even fans who grew up on Dipset are starting to admit it. One viral tweet said, "I love Dipset forever, but you can't out-talk Jadakiss. That man too smooth." Another said, "Jim gotta stop jumping in the ring with people who rap for sport." It's like the culture already made its choice. The LOX hold the legacy crown, and Dipset hold the fashion trophy. And that's fine, but Jim keeps mixing up the two. Still, you can't deny Jim's hustle. The man built an empire off persistence, and he's never scared to stand next to the greats. But this time, he underestimated who he was standing next to. Because when Jadakiss and Styles P talk hip-hop, they ain't arguing opinions, they speak in facts.
A great strategy that they started to put into this whole thing, and I seen this is something I'm watching in the recent, like how they clipping and
Oh, no, it's
viral clickbait and all this shit from just the smallest amount of words that I could say, and that's what created this. this whole
moment, right?
She's just going crazy right now.
The clips is a vicious game though, because nobody cares if it's truthful. Nobody cares if it was taken out of context. It doesn't matter.
It's the truth.
And then there's no integrity with the outlets that share the clips, because it's just the wild, wild west out here. So sometimes I see things and I'm like, that's not how.
Angie, nobody takes the responsibility of being a journalist serious.
I don't know.
And you have for so many years.
I try, but sometimes it's not even in my control.
It's way out there. But I'm just saying, there's very few journalists like you.
Thank you.
Most people are clickbaiting for that. That's their whole existence, and I get it.
Yeah.
I'm here for everything. We gonna run it down the line. We're gonna have fun. You did like this, not too much seriousness. You know what I mean? Like,
now that the dust settled, it's clear this moment was bigger than just jokes or bragging rights. It was a reminder of where real respect comes from. Jadakiss and Styles P didn't humiliate Jim Jones just to clown him. They did it to set the record straight. They showed the difference between influence and legacy, between fashion and foundation. Dipset had the flash, but the LOX had the fire. And in hip-hop, when the smoke clears, the ones who spit the truth always stand taller. Jim Jones might have taken another L in public, but deep down, this might be exactly what he needed, a reality check. Because in New York, the crown ain't about who shouts the loudest or dresses the flyest. It's about who lasts the longest. And if you look at the careers of Jadakiss and Styles P, they've been around longer than half the industry without ever switching up. That's power. That's respect.
Wasn't even a debate. Nas is a legend. Nas put in work. Nas's lyrics. Jim's not even close. The shit Jim says doesn't even make sense compared to what Nas has done for our culture. Hip hop, don't you stupid motherfucker. No, you dumb, idiotic, want to be entertained. Are you crazy? You don't play with someone's legacy like this. Y'all know it's not even close. I had the Source magazine. I did amazing shit. I helped a lot of you motherfuckers. Whose career, and believe me, it's not like it was just me, but I had a hand in helping the culture progress, move forward, grab this in the street to help put a light on myself, Dave Bates, and the rest of the crew. I've never seen more clown shit in my life. Ain't no fucking way. Now we're gonna start taking real legends and legacies, and we're gonna start taking them with this foolishness right now. Are you fucking kidding me? Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way. You can't play with legacies like that. You can't play with Nas's name and his body of work like that. Everybody knows that Jim Jones catalog ain't got nothing to do with Nas. Why are we even entertaining that?
The funny thing is, after the live, fans said it felt like Jadakiss and Styles were giving Jim OG love, tough love. Like they were saying, we ain't dissing you, we just reminding you who you're talking to. And that's real, because even though they cooked him, they still showed him love in the same breath. They told him to keep pushing for Harlem, keep representing New York, just do it with honesty. But when you've been in the game as long as Jim, sometimes you forget the line between confidence and delusion. Now fans are calling it one of the funniest but most real moments of the year. It wasn't beef, it was New York culture on full display. The energy, the jokes, the pride, that's what makes East Coast hip-hop what it is. It's that sharp tongue, that competitive spirit, and that code of never backing down. And even though Jim Jones walked away bruised, he also reminded people why they still talk about him, because at least he shows up. But one thing's for sure, after this, Jim might think twice before going toe-to-toe with Jadakiss again. You can't out-talk a man who turned a whole Verzoos stage into a lyrical masterclass. And you can't outshine two legends who built their careers on consistency and respect. The LOX proved once again that when it comes to New York rap, they still run the room. So yeah, Jim Jones might have walked into that live stream as Harlem's loudest voice, but he walked out reminded who the real kings of New York still are. And the lesson? In hip-hop, clout fades, but credibility lasts forever.